So before I got started in network marketing, I was just like any person out there, right? Born and raised in New Mexico, not the best part of the world, a small little apple orchard community. My grandfather had a business. We have about 48 acres of apple orchard, and he taught me something at a really young age. He told me, son, if you want to have success in life, just never quit. Well, unfortunately, my grandfather got hit and killed by a drunk driver when I was 9 years old. And so that's kind of where the mentoring stopped with him. And I kind of went down, I like to call it a dark path, right? I was 9 years old, my grandfather got hit and killed by a drunk driver. When I was about 11 years old, my mother got hit and killed by a drunk driver. And when I was about 12, my father was murdered. So within this space of about 5 years, I've experienced this crazy traumatic experiences. Not just one, but 3 of my role models were now gone. What was I going to do? Well, you know, I thank God every single day that I had some really good family members that took me in, my aunt and uncle especially, and they raised me, they mentored me. And, you know, as you could imagine, I was a 13-year-old going into high school without my parents. I didn't study. I didn't do my work. I didn't do my homework. I barely graduated high school. I think I had like a 2.1 or whatever, barely skimmed by to graduate high school. And so I couldn't, you know, my friends were all applying to these fancy universities. They were going out of state. They were getting into, you know, some local state universities, and I just didn't have the grades. And so my choices were basically go work at McDonald's, Walmart, you know, get a minimum wage job, go work that. There's nothing wrong with that. Or get into the military. So I decided, I looked around, figured out the Marines was the best option for me, became a Marine, depped in when I was 17. By the time I was 18, I was serving my first tour in Iraq. And guys, that was probably at the time the hardest thing that I ever had to do in my life. You know, leaving your family, going off to war. We're in the middle of Operation Iraqi Freedom, and I spent the next 3 years out there. I served 3 tours out there, 5 years active duty, all the way from Al Anbar province to Afghanistan, floated around the world on a ship, got to, you know, see some incredible sights, so I had a good time. But what I used the military for was a leadership school. So I really learned how to impact people's lives, how to win friends and influence people before I even knew what personal development was, how to lead people, you know, and that brought me into what we're doing here with network marketing, being an entrepreneur. And the way I got introduced into network marketing was through my sergeant in the Marine Corps. And he just told me, he's like, look, we can make some extra money with this thing. And I was all in from that point. Went to a meeting, I saw these little circles on this whiteboard that they were drawing, and I realized that's how I could become a 6 or 7 figure earner. That's how I could have my freedom. What I wanted more than anything, guys, was my freedom. I was putting my life on the line for 3 years of my life, and I didn't feel like the country was appreciative of that. And I wanted to have control of my time, control of my money, and do the things that I wanted to do. And so I got involved in that business, found out that it was a lot harder than it really looked like. And at that point, 90 days in, I started looking for leaders. I found a mentor. And, you know, at first I was kind of really standoffish with this guy. And he told me, look, Joe, give me 3 to 5 years of your life. I'll teach you everything I know about the industry. And I guarantee if you're coachable and teachable, you'll have the same results that I've had. And this is a guy, he had $1 million home up on this mountain. He had a beautiful family. And that was what I wanted. Guys, I lost my family when I was younger. That's my why. I got involved in network marketing to create the life that I wanted, to have the family that I wanted, to live in the home that I wanted to have, to be able to do the things that I want to do. So from that point forward, he said, look, you know, give me those 3 to 5 years. Instead of going to college, do this with me. And I said, okay, I'm all in. But I had the mindset going in, guys, that it was going to take me 10 years to create a 6-figure residual income. It took me about 3 years to get to my first $8,000 a month residual income. And from there, it was just crazy because it went 8,000, 10,000, 12,000, 15, 20, 30, 40. And I made my first $1 million in the industry by the time I was about 27. Bought my first home, about $1 million when I was 27 years old. Drive the cars that I want to drive, travel around the world with my family, and do the things that I want to do. That was my why 5 years ago. Now, guys, my why has now changed. I have a different why. I have a different vision. I have a different goal that I want to achieve. And I hope that you guys can see that goal. You can see the drive that we have with this team here, with the opportunity that we have to take a global business and dominate around the world. So guys, really appreciate your time. See you guys soon.
Sorry, my heart doesn't work like that.